Hurricanes, howling wind, driving rains, the devastating damage left behind, and it's all caught on camera. A sailboat takes on a monstrous hurricane. A risky river rescue.
Get up! Hold on!
Waves that bring the pros to their knees.
If you're not scared, you're in the wrong place.
And winds that topple the mighty.
Oh my God!
Lights, cameras, action.
Did you get that?
Yeah. It's all heading your way on this whirlwind edition of Weather Caught on Camera.
Oh my gosh, the people have kind of panicked.
Carefree Caribbean breezes morph into deadly gusts in 2004. A family's drive to survive the wrath of Hurricane Ivan. Corey Lunn has always had his sea legs.
I've spent more of my life with my feet on the deck of a boat than on dry land.
Corey has joined his parents as they sail off the coast of Grenada. Aboard their full-time home, a 43-foot-long sailboat called the Tsunamis. But a Category 3 hurricane named Ivan is heading straight for them. As they prepare to ride out Ivan in their boat, the Lunns use their video camera to record the progress of the storm.
Okay, we're tracking Ivan, which is coming at us. This is Grenada right here. This is where it was at 8 a.m. this morning, and it is now right here, heading west at 18 knots.
There's no way to dodge the hurricane, so they shelter Tsunamis in an isolated cove.
We put down 3 heavy-duty storm anchors. Got the decks pretty clear. All the canvas stripped off that we can.
It's September 7th, 2004.
I could feel the lower pressure in the air. As it got closer, I could see on the horizon a line of clouds. Hurricane motion in towards the eye. And that was the beginning of the hurricane.
That's where it was at 2 p.m. That's 20 miles from it. That's where we are right there.
It was obvious it would strike us directly.
Ivan roars in with bands of heavy rain.
Oh, you hear it?
Getting anywhere near a hurricane in a boat is nothing but extraordinarily dangerous.
The Lunns are about to go head-to-head with ferocious winds and waves.
As the waves increased, the boat started to pitch and roll a little bit more. What's our barometer at? 29.2. Me too.
The northern eye wall of the storm passes over Grenada. The Tsunamis is pounded by winds of up to 116 miles per hour.
I took over steering the boat and keeping it under control during the storm.
Oh my God. I can't even hold on.
I was not sure anymore if the anchors could hold the boat in position.
So Corey steers the boat directly into oncoming winds, hoping to stay in one place.
All I could see out the windows is water. I couldn't even hang on to the wheel.
Let's hold on, Jim.
Sounds good, sounds good.
As the waves and winds toss Tsunamis, the Lunns are battered, bruised, cut.
Watch for the cat, he was on the right.
It's not an option to just give up and sit there and wait for the boat to sink and die. We had to keep fighting.
Can't even see across the bay.
The waves are just impossibly huge. So with no visibility.
As he steers, Corey spies another boat heading straight for the Tsunamis. A collision is imminent.
It didn't seem like we would be able to survive much longer. We knew we were not going to survive if we stayed on board the boat. So we made the decision to
leap to their dinghy. They battle the waves and make it to land.
It was just the scariest thing that I've ever experienced in my life.
They find shelter in the marina while Ivan rages outside. The next morning brings proof of Ivan's catastrophic destruction.
It looked like the whole country had been put in a blender.
Corey and his dad locate the Tsunamis shipwrecked on the rocks.
So now we're gonna go around, see what we can say.
It takes the Lunds months to restore Te Natura and make her seaworthy again.
I stayed in Grenada for 1 year. I chose to stay and help everybody rebuild, to help my parents rebuild Te Natura.
Even after facing Ivan, Corey is a passionate sailor.
I still sail constantly, every chance I get. Ever since that storm, I have not been afraid of anything.
A storm surge so strong, it brings veteran storm chasers to their knees. The first hurricane of the 2010 season tears through the Atlantic. For 13 years, Jim Eds and Jeff Gammons have filmed extreme weather together. In 2004, their cameras captured Category 4 Hurricane Charlie in Punta Gorda, Florida, documenting incredible winds of 145 miles per hour.
Hurricane Charlie gives me bad dreams to this day. I watched the whole town rip apart in front of me.
But in 2005, Jeff was sidelined by kidney failure. Now, 5 years later, in 2010, along comes Alex, a rare June hurricane, and Jeff embarks on a comeback.
2010 was my first year back after having a kidney transplant.
When he got his new kidney, I said, come on, let's go. We're going to go chase Hurricane Alex.
The duo heads for South Padre Island, Texas, where the outer bands of Alex are likely to deliver some serious surge.
Hurricanes are like horseshoes. You get credit for being close.
So it'd be the best spot in the U.S. if you want to get this hurricane.
Jeff and Jim set up in a parking lot at a shoreline on South Padre Island.
There was a lot of rocks that outlined the whole inlet. So when the waves would crash into these rocks, it was a big thunderous roar. And it was just Jim and I there. There was nobody else in the park.
I wanted to get the waves jacking up, low level, hitting the camera. You're going to get waves that don't look big, but they got a lot of push.
Shoots from higher ground, but notices conditions are changing.
We started to get this huge influx of swells, and the sea level started rising pretty quickly.
But Jim is still in the heavy surf.
He would throw a little signal saying, give me 5 more minutes, I want a few more shots.
And that's when Alex delivers a message.
Wave hit me. It's like somebody sucker punching me in the gut. It hurt. I doubled over, and then it just took me. It's sort of like a mini tsunami.
Jim is driven backwards, narrowly missing a lamppost in the parking lot.
I almost hit that pole, but I went just past that, kept on going.
And I could see he was bouncing across probably rocks and some debris and stuff.
Jeff was probably thinking, I just got the money shot.
Conditions are suddenly dangerous, and Jim and Jeff must get to their car.
In just a few seconds, it went from not bad to very, very dangerous.
The surge is destroying the only way out.
Feel safe right here with that road tearing up like this?
You had holes in the road, driving along, and then thunk.
Oh, Jeff, we're done.
The left front tire dropped into a hole which was about 4 feet across and about 2 or 3 feet deep.
The Jeep is buried up to its axle.
Get out of here, Jeff.
Panic turned on real quick.
The road's gone, Jeff.
Both men are anxious.
The next big wave was going to come and force us either deeper into the hole or just flip the Jeep altogether.
Jeff advises Jim to reverse rapidly to try to escape the hole.
You got it. Just back it up. You got it.
Time to go. We got to get out of here.
Let me drive you through.
Yeah, you get out there.
Jeff guides him down the deteriorating roadway. Teamwork wins the day.
It's good to have Jeff because he's calm. I trust him. I trust his judgment.
And for Jeff, Alex reignites his passion for the chase.
There's nothing like the sound of the wind in a hurricane.
You almost caught it.
I knew I was back in the game, and I was pretty happy about it.
Coming up, a raging river rescue after Hurricane Sandy.
Get up!
And later, Sandy's strength will blow you away.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
When weather caught on camera continues. A joyride on a swollen river
Hold on!
results in high stakes, high water, and a daring rescue.
Get up!
I was terrified that he was going to die.
24 hours after Superstorm Sandy dumps 7 inches of rain on Walkersville, Maryland, the Monocacy River has flooded its banks. Michelle Kaur is out taking photos and video.
I teach photography, and I wanted to take some pictures for my students, and I heard some yelling.
The river is churning, and Michelle comes upon 2 men stranded and clinging to trees.
and I just started screaming, "Hold on or you're gonna die." As I was talking, the water just kept rising and rising. We're at Devil Biss Bridge Road in Walkersville. They're trying to do a swiftwater rescue. And we're on a boat and went into the water.
First responders throw a flotation device to the man in the tree in case he slips into the river. The second victim, an older man, is too far from the bridge and appears to be struggling to hang on to the tree.
As time continued, he was getting lower and lower on that tree.
This is bad.
Only a boat can get to him.
We didn't know what his conditions was, how long he was going to be able to hang on. We knew that his situation was where we needed to get our attention to first.
The water's rising, the man's trying to hold on.
Newspaper photographers also shoot video as the rescue team uses a ladder truck to send two men in an aerial basket far out over the Monocacy, as close to victim 2 as they can get.
We'll extend down over the bridge and get down to the water. We'll try to get them some type of flotation device.
And it just looked like it was gonna tip over. Just looked terrifying. They've got a ring around him now. They've secured the older man. Now they're gonna try to figure out how to get him out of here.
With the flotation ring in place, a rescue boat is on the river heading to pick up the victims. But something unexpected happens.
He let go.
The victim himself decided that it was probably better for him to jump. At that point, it's that flight or fight mechanism. That's when the incident really got critical.
Now, victim 2 clutches the life preserver.
The plan was to try to basically pull them back against the current and just pray that he held on.
Hold on.
There was no direct way to get him to shore that was not obstructed by shrubs or branches or trees.
Hold on. God.
At that point, it's very slippery. The water's rushing by. His life's basically in the balance.
His head was out of the water, but he was just holding on for dear life.
Oh my God.
The man gets snagged on some branches. The team tugs him free. But then victim 2 slips beneath the roiling waters of the Monocacy.
Get up. Get up.
He went underwater. He was underwater for about 12 seconds.
This guy gets a lung full of water that he might just let go.
Hold on. God. And everyone started screaming. The current was pushing him underneath, and it was like the longest 12 seconds of my life. Get up! Get up! And finally, his head popped up, and everyone was just like, thank goodness.
And we pulled him over, and the deputies and the state troopers were able to grab him and pull him on shore.
With the older man safe, victim number 1 is then easily rescued from the tree.
The first boat came in and just assisted him on.
Neither man is injured. It turns out that the rescue results from a joyride gone wrong.
I think they wanted a little bit of adventure after the hurricane. Apparently, the two individuals decided that they were going to raft to Walmart. Not long after entering the water, the boat capsized, and they were forced to clutch to whatever trees were nearby them.
They had an idea of what they wanted to do, but Mother Nature had a different plan.
Coming up, lights, cameras, and plenty of action as Superstorm Sandy hits New York.
Did you get that? Yeah.
When Weather Caught on Camera returns. Prepare to be blown away by the explosive power of Superstorm Sandy. Caught on camera by 2 intrepid filmmakers.
Did you get that? Take a video.
October 2012. New York City braces for the monstrous might of Superstorm Sandy.
If you live in Zone A, you must evacuate.
Mayor Michael Bloomberg orders more than 350,000 residents of flood-prone areas to head to higher ground.
It's long been known that the worst-case scenario for New York City is a hurricane whose center comes into New Jersey.
And that's just where Superstorm Sandy is expected to make landfall, sending massive amounts of storm surge into New York Harbor.
And so that pushes water up on both sides of Manhattan, up the East River and up the Hudson River.
As frenetic Manhattan grinds to a peculiar halt, across the river in Brooklyn, filmmaker John Matuzzi documents Sandy's approach from a pier on the East River.
And it was obvious that people were excited, and they were absorbing all the amusements of an approaching superstorm. I just don't think people really understood what was coming.
As Matuzzi films, the wind picks up.
Then at one point, the gusts would come. Maybe like 50-mile-per-hour winds or 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's when I realized things were getting a little dangerous.
Back in Manhattan, another filmmaker, Casey Neistat, takes to the streets on his bike.
I was out the entire day on my bike. It didn't feel dangerous out.
But as the evening unfolds, high water levels in lower Manhattan break the records set in 1960 by Hurricane Donna. Water pours over the seawalls and overwhelms lower Manhattan.
And that was when we found the really startling stuff.
Giving new meaning to the terms rush hour and carpools.
There were cars floating by. We found a Bentley, a several $100,000 car that was just left with its headlights flashing.
And Gotham submerged.
The entire FDR at the southern tip of the island underwater. I was filming through the window of a bank, and one of the revolving doors into the bank snapped under the pressure of the water, and all the water went in and rushed up in the bank.
There is stinging wind.
And these very strong blasts of wind would come in and push you off your bicycle.
And the surge keeps coming.
And we finally made it around to the West Side Highway. All we could see was a river. And what was splitting that river were these trees. And realizing that that's the place where I run every day, that was shocking.
Across the rising East River, John Matuzzi is filming in Brooklyn.
People were, just hanging out, taking pictures. I saw this huge flash, and I heard people like, oh my God.
A burst of bright light fills John's viewfinder. He is stunned to realize he is filming a massive explosion in Manhattan.
And then we noticed everything was exploding. Then you started seeing all the transformers exploding in the distance over Manhattan. You feel the chills go up your spine. It was pretty ominous and surreal.
Did you get that? Take a video.
Because on the other side of the river, things are getting pretty serious.
In fact, a transformer in a Con Ed substation has blown, plunging lower Manhattan into total darkness.
And that was the exact moment when the entire night shifted, and shifted very quickly. The whole city was black. There was no people, there were no lights, there was nothing, just water going up and up and up.
To get home, Neistat and crew must now navigate in the dark through black water.
I remember feeling entirely alone, just like that. It went from being surrounded by first responders and people like that to being surrounded by nothing but darkness and water.
The water recedes, but Superstorm Sandy leaves $50 billion damage and 147 deaths in its wake.
It reminded me of the movies, because all we do is see these movies of like apocalyptic explosions, and that's what it felt like.
I remember the first time hearing the word superstorm, and it seemed sort of silly, almost hyperbole at the time. But I think now looking back on it, that's exactly what it was.
Oh my God. Oh!
Coming up, hurricane force winds uproot a neighborhood.
Our tree!
I've never seen weather like that.
Next on Weather Caught on Camera.
Oh my God.
At the height of Superstorm Sandy,
Oh my God!
a teenager from Long Island captures a stunning chain of events. Hunkered down with his family in Wantagh, New York, 16-year-old John Mateer wasn't worrying about the coming storm.
I woke up the morning that we had off from school, and the wind was maybe blowing like 40 miles an hour.
John passes the rainy day inside.
I was messaging my friends back and forth and taking videos of like the wind and stuff.
This is the apocalypse.
Around 6 p.m., Sandy begins to show its force. The skies darken and wind gusts intensify.
I heard the wind start to blow like a lot faster, so I went to go film out my window. And my sister was like, what's going on? What's going on? Oh my God. Then out of nowhere, trees started falling.
Oh my God!
John is so stunned, he doesn't even have time to adjust the camera angle.
Oh!
He just keeps rolling.
Oh! Oh my God!
The tree on my neighbor's lawn across the street fell down.
Oh my God!
Our tree!
You're...
Our tree!
And then it lands on our car.
Our tree!
You're...
At this point, I was in shock. I was I couldn't believe it was happening.
Oh my God!
You can see it just skim. It looks like it skims the back of the car, but it literally ripped the whole back of the car off. Like that car was totaled. And I think my younger sister, Kelly, was like, Aaron, it's your car. And then she was like, wait, my car? So everything switched from our tree fell to my car just got hit.
They hit your car! Oh my God!
And then my next door neighbor, if that all wasn't enough, my next door neighbor's tree just completely toppled over on top of their cars.
It hit your car! Oh my god! Oh my god!
It hit my car!
Oh, their car!
John can't believe what he's seeing and that he's catching it all on camera.
I got that all on film! I got that all on film!
Oh my god!
But it's not over yet.
There's a fire, Dad!
Oh my god!
At first, I couldn't believe that trees were falling, let alone now there's a fire on the end of our street. Mayhem just struck in like 15 seconds. It was like mind-boggling.
Finally, enough is enough, and the Mateer family decides it's time to head to the basement.
I got that all on film, you guys.
Oh,
I swear to God.
my gosh.
Oh my god. I hate to be that guy, but show me the video.
And I was like, okay, time to shut the camera off. More trees continued to fall, actually hitting our house this time. We got like our gutter like ripped off. It actually shook the whole entire house. We woke up the next morning and our whole front window was blocked by trees. You couldn't even see my house. There was just trees all over it. I've never seen weather like that. On disaster movies, yeah, and on stuff like that, but like not on like my lawn.